We've got head coach of your Kent State Golden Flashes, Sean Lewis, here to take some questions and an opening statement here about the game we just saw against the University of Georgia. So, Coach, take away your opening thoughts about today's game.
Yeah, I mean, really pleased with the way that our kids fought, really pleased with the way that they battled, the way they went about their business. I'm obviously not happy with the results, right? But you hear coaches sit up there and talk about, hey, I'm not happy with the results, but, you know, I'm not happy with the process. I'm not happy with the results, but I was very pleased with the process and the way that our kids went about their business. It's a really talented ball club. We have a really talented club that have gone through tremendous adversity, tremendous conflict through the month of September, and they embrace it, and they get better because of it, and our character grows stronger because of it. We get tighter as a ball club together because of it. It's something that they lean into, and it's real work that makes us better. It's real work that gives us real confidence, and I'm really pleased with the effort from our kids. Excited to get back home and to get back to work with these guys, because I know we have a great future ahead of us because we're willing to work and we're willing to embrace the process each and every single day to improve and go compete. So couldn't be prouder, more humble to lead these guys and the effort that they put forth today.
Let's open up here on the floor for questions for Coach.
Coach, Patrick Garvin with UGAsports.com. You had some very praiseworthy comments earlier about Georgia this week, about greatest team assembled and whatnot. You just came in here and played them a good game. What was the biggest challenge that Georgia did present, whether it's a particular position or maybe the crowd or what?
I mean, across the board, right? It's an elite program that's recruited at an elite level, so they've gotten talent in, not only amongst the players, obviously they're the ones in between the white lines that are making the plays, and each and every single level in all three phases, they challenge you, right? They're able to impact the game. And special teams get an early block kick for a safety, that changes the complexion of things. You know, they got a tight end that they can hand the ball to that goes 75 yards. That's a little bit different, right, than most teams have. You know, so they stress you out in a lot of different ways. They have an incredible staff of talent that's able to work together, that's seeing a tremendous amount of ball, right, that they're able to work well together seamlessly. There's total alignment from the top down with what they do. So it's the breadth and the depth of their talent, the players, the staff, the support, everything that they have. But again, with what our kids have shown, what our staff has shown, the character that we have to go in toe-to-toe and to embrace that challenge, I'm very, very proud of them. But obviously we came up short, need to get better as we go forward. But, you know, tremendous contact, tremendous arena to step into, to test who we are, to really know what we can trust within our family.
Hey, Coach, Brandon Curran, Laconia News. Kirby Smart earlier this week said Colin Schley, was just an athlete all around. What did you see from him in practice this week, and why do you think he was so down on the field today?
He goes about his business the right way. You know, he's been in our program for over 3 years, and he wasn't a highly recruited kid. He's a guy that our staff went out and identified, and he's been developing and grooming and growing since he's been within our program. So every single day he goes about his business the right way, and you saw that again today, right? Like we talk all the time that every day is a work day in our building, and today is a work day as well. Obviously a really, really important one, but he went out and he handled his work the same way that he does each and every single day, and he doesn't let whatever environment or opponent that he's going against influence him. He's confident, and again, because of that work that he's put in, he knows that he's going to have success in the long haul.
Any other questions here from the group? Well, let's turn to our guys back at home and start with Alan Moss from the Record Courier. Alan, any questions for Coach?
Coach, it's the third one of these in 4 weeks. You know, you're sitting there thinking, okay, you guys might wear down, which would have been a very logical thing. I don't think you did. I mean, just talk about, you know, I think you played some of your best football in the second half of this, and just what that means to you and what you can take from that.
Again, I mean, it's real confidence, it's true confidence that we can take going forward, Alan, right? It's a testament to the strength and conditioning staff, the work that our kids have put in, this group of kids and this addition of our family has put in this year since January to be able to be in this environment, to be in a four-quarter fight. And yeah, we're going to have some bumps and bruises. That's what happens with this beautiful game, and that's what makes it different. But our kids kept coming back, right? We believe in our core belief of, you know, toughness, and we define that as going harder, longer than anyone else is willing to. And our kids showed that today. Their actions aligned with those words. And when we have that with the things that we believe, again, over the long haul, we're going to be just fine.
Coach, I know you come in here to win, obviously, but just, you know, knowing who you're up against, obviously how difficult that's going to be. Was there a time, maybe in the fourth quarter, when you had a chance to make it a one-score game, where you guys are sitting over there and you can just kind of look around and think, wow, we actually really can win this game?
And I believe that we can win every single game and every single arena that we step into. And it happened to be the Georgia Bulldogs today, but, you know, my belief is that we need to do what winning requires each and every single day. And when we do that the way that we did today, we're going to have a chance to win. So again, not happy with the result, but happy with the way that we went about the process of winning today. We came up a little bit short, but I believe in every single arena that we've ever stepped in since I've been here, and as we continue to go forward with these kids, I'm going to bet on me and mine versus everyone, and we're going to be just fine.
Just talk a little bit about, all three phases and making some real splash plays. Starting with defense, I know Marvin wasn't able to play last week. He has a rip and a fumble recovery, had a couple of other huge plays. Just start on the defensive end with those types of plays at Marvin in particular.
Yeah, I mean, just being opportunistic and playing with relentless effort, right? When we got guys that are running to the ball, we got guys like Marvin, guys like Caleb Johns, guys like Nico Bolden. Every single time you turn on the tape, their resume speaks for itself. They're flying to the football. They're being aggressive. As they settle in, they learn more and more about the scheme and having situational awareness. They know where they can just go and they can just hunt and they can be aggressive. So to be able to generate turnovers, for special teams to be able to go and generate a turnover early and be able to tie everything together. Again, the teams are the glue that tie the offense and the defense together. So, for Josh to get a great boot on that thing and for us to recover that muff kick and then to get some points on the board early gives the whole sideline life. And then later in the game there when, we're kind of wobbly a little bit and we need a play to inject some life and to, stay in it, again, for our punt team to go out and execute that fake, it's big time plays and it's big time players making big time plays. And that's where, we're scheming things up for the guys that we know that we can trust, the guys that are our best players, and they're showing up, and that's what they need to do, right? And so being opportunistic and guys being trained so that the moment presents itself, they can seize it. That's what it's all about. Our guys are doing that. We need to continue to do that as a staff to put our guys in the best position to be successful week in and week out. And if our kids play hard and they do right, and no matter what happens, they just keep doing the next thing the right way, good things are going to happen.
You're struggling offensively in the early going there, and then you get the turnover that Marvin forced, and then talk about the play to Walker. And first of all, I couldn't really see who was the block. Somebody took two guys out in front of him.
Chris Leach. Yeah, so Chris Leach was on the block. And again, it's a tremendous testament to the character of our team. And that's a real world rep with that kid right there, right? To where early on we have the third down conversion where we're throwing him a little tight end screen that I think has a chance to be a decent play, and his feet kind of got tangled up and he went to the ground. And you know what? I think a real common response for a lot of young men would have been to hang their head and let that play carry over for 2, 3, 4 more plays or for the rest of the game. It could have ruined their day. And I thought Chris did an unbelievable job of clearing it. He refocused when we needed him to and had a tremendous block. So I appreciate you asking about that and seeing that, because that's the type of effort, that's kind of invisible, that if you don't notice it, hey, you see Tez catch it and step out, and obviously that's really impressive for him to be able to run and separate with the amount of speed that was on that field today, and for him to be one of the fastest guys out there, that's a big time play and a big time testament to his work since he's been here as well. But again, that's just the unselfish nature, of the ball club, that, hey, we need guys that are going to have their hands on the ball and they're going to go score with it. But man, it takes 10 other guys to do their piece as well so that we can make those plays happen and to have great success.
Last one, just obviously Bowers is a guy you're worried about coming in. The first second play of the game he goes. Talk about that play first of all, how they caught you, and then just being able to overcome that. You're sitting there 19 seconds in on the road against these guys down 7.
Hey, you don't flinch. Right? I mean, things are going to happen. You're going to step in the arena and you're going to get popped in the mouth. All right? So eat the jab, clear it, and let's go. Let's play. We know that they had good players, right? A lot was made about my comments earlier in the week. Like, they got good players, and good players make plays. So a good player made a play. Again, it was really well executed by them. And so our kids did a great job. All right, hey, tip of the cap. Like, that's going to happen. It's a long ball game. If you're going to let that second play of the game influence the whole rest of the game, then you're in the wrong arena. There's going to be some choppy waters, and that's going to make a skilled sailor. So let's settle in. Let's ride these waves out, and let's get into the ball game. I thought we did that in all 3 phases. Again, wish we would have made a few more plays, right, at the end of the day, but I thought the way that our kids responded, again, same way that Chris did, to refocus and to get back to the task at hand. Our defense did the exact same thing. They refocused, they got back to the task at hand, and the longer that we as a staff and with this group and with this crew can spend more time on task together, we're going to really understand who we are, what we stand for, how we can do things to an elite level, and I look forward to doing that work as we continue to go forward.
All right, thanks, Alan. Let's go over to Steve Helwick from the Hustle Belt. Steve, any questions for Coach?
Yes, Coach. You had a similar 1-3 start last year with a really difficult non-conference schedule. So what did you learn from this year's schedule that makes you have belief in this team heading into MAC play?
The work that we get to do together each and every single day, Steve, the way in which our kids carry themselves, and a lot's made about the schedule and all these outside factors and everything, but at the end of the day, it's not about who we're playing. Really, the only opponent that we have is winning, right, and doing things that winning requires. So, again, it was Georgia this week, it was Washington week 1, it was LIU last week, and it's going to be Ohio next week. But wins are hard to come by, so you got to respect that process, and you got to battle winning each and every single day and have the character, have the discipline, have the resolve each and every single week. And what I've learned from the team this year about that is our kids are willing to lean into that, right? So it's been real easy, and again, really common. And a lot was made about this week about, hey, this culmination of everything that's going on. Like, that's society's opinion about what it is. I'm going to take the feedback from my ball club and the reality that I see each and every single day, and the way that we show up to work tells me that we're going to be fine. We're a high character ball club that can improve in a lot of areas, but they're willing to work, and we're going to improve. So we're going to roll our sleeves up. Work works, and I'm excited to get to that work with this team.
And the ball movement today was pretty effective compared to some of the previous non-conference games. How did last week's 60-point showing against LIU really invoke some confidence in this offense and sustaining those drives?
Yeah, I think everyone needs a payday every now and again, right? Working's great, but you got to get paid sometimes too. So our kids realize, they got some injections of life and some confidence, and then again to have some early success after working through some adversity. I think it was 3 or 4 possessions that we had straight 3 and outs, right? But then ultimately we did some really base things at a high level against a good opponent, and our kids realized, all right, hey, that's what we need to do. All right, so that gives them some life, gives them some confidence. And now we need to use that to propel us as we go forward to do the work again that winning requires, because there's no easy games. All right, we know that about the MAC, and there's nothing going to be simple about this next week either.
Thanks, Steve. Let's go to Jack Burney with TV2. Jack, any questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, just talk a little bit about Collin's performance today. Obviously, Georgia's relentless up front, but I thought Collin was able to make some good decisions, not turn the ball over, make some effective.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Did a really good job, Jack. I think you're just asking about Collin's performance. If there's a second half of your question there that I missed, I'll be happy to answer it. But again, Collin did a great job. We got to settle into the game. Obviously, you got to confirm what you see on tape to make sure that that is what you're getting actually on game day, right? And so he continues to do a great job of communicating what he's seeing, right? Being able to work together. And again, him and I spending more time on task together to really know what he likes, how he feels comfortable operating, so that I can put him in the best positions to be successful against a really quality opponent. And again, he consistently shows up day in and day out, and that leads to efficient performances like today. We knew there wasn't going to be very many explosive plays because of, the way that they play defensively and what they've done in the past. But, again, to move the ball efficiently, to put up 22 points, and that's 2 more touchdowns than anyone else in college football scored on them, all right? So, again, not happy with the results, but happy with the way that we went about the business, all right, and the task at hand as we went forward today.
That's all I got. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Jacob Hansen with the Kent Stater and Kent Wyatt. Jacob, any questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, you talked briefly about being the team to score the most points against Georgia this year. Talk a little bit more about that, what that means as a program coming in on the road to do that, what that no other teams have been able to do this season.
Again, we have our standard within our building, and we believe in what we do. It's why we do it. Our kids have tremendous confidence in it. So, again, anyone, anytime, anywhere, let's go mix it up. We're going to take our shot, So I know a lot of people got a lot of opinions about a lot of other things, but I believe in my kids. I love my kids. They put in tremendous work, and we'll go play anyone, anytime, anywhere. Let's get it on.
And then talk about Devontae Walker a little bit more. 2 back-to-back games of 50-yard receiving touchdowns. Just talk about his speed, his athleticism, and what he's able to do alongside Cephas.
He's really fast. So he picked his parents really good, and he's really, really fast. He works really, really hard. He's really developed his body and his skill set since he's been here with us. And obviously having, Tez on one side and Cephas on the other side, allows us to be balanced. The 2 of them are kind of like salt and pepper, or ebony and ivory on the piano keys, man. They work well together, and we got to find a way to continue to utilize their skill set. And we got other great players as well, right, that are offensive weapons that we can deploy in a lot of different ways, and they do a tremendous job week in and week out, taking in the install, understanding why we need to move the pieces around because of their attention that they're getting. And, they take the game plan, and they do the work, and then they go out and execute. So it's a tip of the cap to them and their efforts and the way that they go about their business.
One last question. Talk about the special teams, getting the fumble on the punt,
fake punt, and then Glass putting up a lot of field goals. Just talk about how important they are keeping you in the game.
Yeah, they're the glue. Those are the glue guys, y'all. I mean, there's so much that goes into that work, and they're the unsung heroes of the game because there's so many guys that are doing such amazing things. I mean, to tee the ball up and say, hey, we're going to kick it deep against the #1 team in the country, and we believe in you guys to go down there and get a tackle for loss inside the 20 and to start them down at the 17-yard line, like that's different. That's what makes this game so beautiful, that we got guys that are completely bought in to do that. And I love that we got reporters that want to talk so much about special teams because it's critically important to us, and it allows me to brag on those guys. But I mean, we got guys that are showing up each and every single week in that phase of the game because it's so impactful, and we put a lot of time in it because it can be impactful. All right, and our guys do a great job with it, and because of that, again, we get turnovers, we get to extend drives, we get to get points on the board. I mean, that's huge. That's what winning requires, and so those guys have embraced it. You know, they love it. They love playing for Coach Barton. Coach Barton does an unbelievable job getting our kids prepared, and you know, just happy to do it, the effort that they put forth each and every single week to be a positive impact on the game because of our special teams.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Last call here for questions. Go back to the crowd.
I apologize. You've been asked this already. I came in late, but you've seen plenty of Brock Bowers on tape. What was it like seeing him in person, and the combination of talents he brings to the game?
Yeah, I mean, he's special, right? He has a very unique skill set that flashed on tape, and when you see it live, it confirms everything that you saw on tape as well. So he's the real deal, you know, and yeah, I thought our kids battled hard against him. Obviously, he's a special player that made some big-time plays, but, you know, there's a reason why he has the attention that he has.
And if last I could ask just about, you've gone through kind of a meat grinder here with these 3 games. How do you think this team has come out, and where are you at this end of the grinder?
We're great. Meat grinder's your opinion. That's not my opinion. It's an opportunity for our kids each and every single week, right, to get better. And there's tests, no matter what. No matter who you're playing, no matter where you're at, there's tests that you got to battle through. And so I love where my kids are at. I love where we're at in the locker room right now. I'm not happy with the results today. I'm not happy with our record. But I know that we're a high caliber team, a high character team because of the tests that we've been through. And I know that every single person that's in that locker room that's here on this trip that battled with us today, that I can trust them wholeheartedly. So I'm grateful and thankful for the tests that we get to have. Society and everyone else can call it what they want. All right, we're going to play who's on our schedule, anyone, anytime, anywhere. All right, and I'm very, very happy to do that, and I'm very humbled and pleased. There's only 131 jobs of these in the country, and I'm very blessed and thankful. I have a locker room full of guys that believe in our message, regardless of who the opponent is, that I get to lead them, and they get to respond the way that they did. And I'm very thankful and grateful for the leadership that has my back, so we can go do these things. And I'm excited to go forward with my kids.
Last call for questions, either virtually or here in person. All right, Coach, thank you very much. We'll lace them up.